Okay, so I'm gonna be trying something. It's not exactly new because I used to do YouTube videos like when I was younger. My last video I made was 2 years ago, but I'm gonna start making the YouTube videos again, just talking about random things like I always have done. Um, all of my old videos are still up on my channel for whatever reason, but yeah, so this video here is about depression. People my age, we aren't exactly encouraged to talk about depression. I'm 24 years old, by the way. We aren't really encouraged to talk about it, and especially if you are in the black community, it's not something that we are encouraged to talk about. It's not really seen as something that black people have depression. It's more like, oh, you're not depressed, just go to church or pray about it, Like it's kind of brushed off because we're expected to be these strong characters and not allowed to break, so to speak. But anyway, depression is just very ugly. Very ugly. And it's not fun. Um it's just depending on how deep into it you are, it's soul sucking. Like it sucks the life out of you. A lot of people, if they're very deep into their depression, they don't even want to function. They don't even want to do their day-to-day activities like go to work or shower, that's crazy, but that's just what it is. Some people, they're so deep into their depression, they don't even want to fucking live anymore. And that's what you call suicide, you know. Myself, in my experiences with depression, 9 times out of 10, if I have ever been depressed about something, it had to do with a man. I'm not going to lie. There were times where I was just stressed out about a job, like the one I had about 5 months ago. It was extremely stressful. I hated it. I wanted to quit work every day, and it made me depressed. Like it just affected my mood even when I went home when the day was over, you know. Other times I'm just depressed over who I am as a person, how I often feel like I am not good enough and things like that. But yeah, depression is not fun. I've never been really deep into it. I have thought about taking the suicide route before, honestly, but I didn't go through with it, obviously, because I'm here talking right now. But like I said earlier, it usually has something to do with a man and me feeling like I'm not good enough or whatever. But think about me in my depression. Sometimes I just want to just wallow in it. Like sometimes I don't want to feel better, so to speak, and that's a little scary, honestly. Sometimes I just want to cry and I just want to lay in bed and just not think and not do anything and just be sad. And I can't tell you why that is. Maybe it's because I I am allowing myself to feel something even if it isn't a good emotion. I don't know. But yeah, it's sometimes I just don't want it to be okay. Sometimes I just want to feel depressed. Just, I can't actually explain it. But, I know that this is a recurring thing for me. There will be times in my life where, I'm doing great, everything's on track, and then something will happen to me and everything gets thrown off. And it'll fuck me up, honestly. So that brings about the depression. And this has happened more than once. It's happened too many times to count, honestly. So that's why I feel like I'm not exactly happy, because if depression can come and go that easily, are you actually happy? You know? I haven't really. The last time I actually thought about suicide was back in 2010. Like, I was tempted to just. I was about to cross a busy street, and I was just tempted to just walk right into the middle of it and stop and just accept whatever happened. But the thing about suicide is, what happens if you don't succeed? I feel like that would depress you even more. Like, damn, I tried to kill myself and I couldn't even fucking do it correctly, you know? So that's another thing you have to worry about. Yeah, it's a crazy thing. And the thing about me is, when I was younger, I wasn't I didn't really experience anything, so I didn't have real reasons to feel sad. So when I was younger, I used to fear death. Like, I would be like, damn, I don't ever want to die, because that means I can't experience anything, I can't see anything, I can't smell, taste, or hear anything. Like, everything just stops for me and everybody else just goes about their lives. Like, why would I want to die? That's insane. But now that I am older and that I have experienced things that aren't pleasant, I realize that I have become a little bit too comfortable with the idea of death. I realize that I'm not going out seeking it, I know that, but I've just become okay with the fact that with each passing day, I am closer to dying. That's a horrible thing to say, but that's just what life will do to you. That's just what certain situations will do to you. And like I said earlier, this is not something that people are encouraged to talk about. It's a taboo subject. Nobody really wants to deal with these kind of things, but it doesn't just go away because you don't want to talk about it. And not everyone has the resources to go see a therapist or a psychiatrist or something like that. And not everyone believes in a higher being. So how can you pray to something that you don't believe in? Who are you actually asking for help if you don't believe in a higher being? So it's like, for the people who don't believe in this higher being and don't have resources to get help, what are they supposed to do? And it doesn't just go away because nobody wants to talk about it. This shit is real. It's very real. And the fact that there are people who just live in this state of emotion for prolonged periods of time is very unfortunate. Because even me, like, I'll be depressed for a while, but like I said, my life will eventually get back on track. But sometimes people's lives don't get back on track. Sometimes they're just depressed. That is just their state of living. And that's very unfortunate. It's not something that can just be brushed under the rug. It's something that has to be talked about. It's something that has to be tackled. And I can say this because I've experienced it. People who haven't experienced it, they can't really testify as to what goes on. So they're not the best spokespeople for this topic. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I am somehow always a bit depressed, but some days are better than others, I guess.